Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and a quick battle report. Tonight it was a game between Andy and myself. It's a practice game for November Pain, the little tournament that's coming up at the end of the week. It's a 1,000 pointer, rifle platoon or two rifle platoons. Andy's here is taking his late Germans. If we run from the back left, we can go heavy mortar, a sniper, and a Nebelwerfer. He's got a second lieutenant. He's got all veteran squads of Germans. One veteran squad or two veteran squads, I think, have got all assault rifles, and the others have got a mix of assault rifles, and SMGs. They've all got two Panzerfausts or one Panzerfaust in the units. He's taken a 222, and you can see there the pack wagon, 75mm anti-tank gun. So quite a chunky piece of kit there. He was trying it out for the well, not for the first time, because I can see a couple of white rings around the front of it, which he tends to put on when he gets a kill. So that's Andy's list. We're going to be playing a meeting engagement with secondary objective in the middle, and that's what we're going to be playing in the tournament. That's one of the games. So that's Andy's, and let's get on with mine. So I took the US Marines with a little upgrade into it. So from left to right, what I've got is the M3 half-track toting the HMG. I've got 4 units of Marines. They're more or less all the same. NCO's got a submachine gun, and each unit's got 2 bars, and the rest are rifles. Then I've got a regular Sherman 75, and then a Greyhound with just an MMG, and then I've got a bazooka team and an officer and his mate, and that the Nebelwerfer is a land mattress. So that was my army for the day. What I'm looking at is, depending on what the scenario is, because the other 2 scenarios is demolition and key positions. So we're going to be playing 3 games over the day. This list, if I do take it, will be sort of set up for an outflank to try and get the half-track on to disgorge men, or the Greyhound to try and sneak in for a win for the demolition. For outflank, I'm putting the half-track and the bazooka team, 1 Marine team, and the Greyhound. They'll be going into outflank. So we'll see how it runs. So playing meeting engagement, and it's the end of turn 1. The Americans have bring on the armour on this side, and the land mattress, which is a Nebelwerfer proxying for it. Trying to counter the 222 that came on, which taken a shot at the land mattress and missed, but I've missed hitting the 222. So we've got an infantry squad there for the Germans. Moving across, panning across, we've got the pack wagon with the 75 anti-tank. Another 2 infantry squads there, and we've got the Nebelwerfer hiding behind the wall.
Command squad behind.
Panning across, we got that command squad behind the church, and we've got a sniper in the woods, another infantry unit, and a heavy mortar. Opposing this unit is a unit of Marines here, and a unit of Marines on the hedge. Off board, get you dizzy with that movement. I've got a bazooka team, a Greyhound, a M3, and a unit of 8 Marines. So they're on outflank in reserve. So you're going to move into turn 2, and we'll see what happens there. So into turn 2, and the Germans are pressing their attack, and the infantry unit have moved forward there. Snipers have been taking a shot at the Marine unit that's behind the hedge. They've moved forward up to the church, and the officers have come out towards the centre objective. Another unit has moved across. We've had a bit of rocket action. The Nebelwerfer from the Germans fired at the Sherman and hit it on a 6, as it does. It was targeting the land mattress, but missed that. But the Sherman took it, and that got a hit on the top, caused a glance, and immobilised it, and turret jammed it facing that way. So that was a bit of a shame. The Americans' land mattress took a shot at the pack wagon and also got a hit with the 6. Hit it on the top, glanced, and put 3 pins on it. So that's on 3 pins. The Sherman did try to rally from its 2 pins, but got a foobar and had to go down. Infantry unit over here went down to prevent casualties from the 222, and the other little German unit has moved up. So moving into turn 3, and we'll see what can be done. Into turn 3, and the Nebelwerfer hiding behind the dice bag got another 6 on the Sherman again. Didn't penetrate or glance it this time, but did put 3 pins on, so I had to take the turn rallying it. So fortunately I was able to get rid of the pins. This unit went down because of the 222 still over there. Germans have pushed up into the middle. I fired the land mattress at them but didn't hit them. Unit over here took a casualty. German officers moved up next to the objective in the centre. I've moved up the Marines on this flank to tempt the German unit forward. That was my plan. It worked because I was then able to release my Greyhound towards the heavy mortar, because otherwise I couldn't have got it on, because Andy was right on the centre line. However, I did pay the penalty somewhat with 4 men being shot from the Marines by the advancing Germans with their assault rifles, which was a bit harsh really. But there we go, that's how it worked. Other than that, the Germans went into the church. The pack has rallied, so he's back up and operating this turn. My Nebelwerfer took a wound from the LMG from the unit there shooting through the gate of the field. So took an opportune shot on his move. So end of turn 3. Nobody's lost any units yet, but I'm sure we will this turn. And he's just reminded me that over here, focusing on him, the Greyhound did put 2 kills on the heavy mortar, and they got a pin, so not so bad. Would have been nice to have wiped it out, but we'll have to see what goes this time. I do know Andy's units do come armed with Panzerfausts, so we could be at risk with that Greyhound. So we had a bit of action this turn. The armoured car wrecked away from the squad, the German squad that came back to attack it. Wrecked away from the Panzerfaust, which was fortunate. But unfortunately the pack was able to get a shot and put the Greyhound out of action. I was able to bring on the half-track, and the infantry unit jumped out, but even with the number of shots I only killed 2 of the veteran Germans, but they've got a pin and they're down 1. Half-track tried a shot at the sniper, missed. Germans have responded by jumping out of the church and trying to take on the infantry squad. Managed to kill 1. The commanders have come across, tried to take a shot but they missed. Over on this side things are looking a bit bleak for the Americans. There's 2 squads of Germans advancing up against the Marines in the centre. The land mattress was taken out by the Nebelwerfer, which is over there behind the wall. Sherman was able to fire at the 222 and put a pin on it, but it passed its leadership test and took a shot at the Marines, which I put down, but they managed to kill 1 still. So yeah, end of turn 4, and we're now looking at 2 dice to the Germans and 0 dice to the Americans as we go into turn 5. End of turn 5, and the Germans are really pushing up on the left here again. They're coming across to the Marine squad, which took a bit of a battering last time from the combined fire from the 222 and the unit of Germans there. So they're on 3 pins now. Sherman is on 2 pins. He got hit by the mortar, didn't penetrate, but put a couple of pins on him. Officers still good. The Marine squad that were behind the fence have dived into the house. The little Marine squad over here have rallied and lost 2 pins, so they've got 1 pin left. The half-track put a pin on the sniper, couldn't do anything else, and the Marine squad here took out the 3 vet Germans. The Germans over here took the Panzerfaust shot, couldn't hit the truck, but they did put a pin on the infantry here. And the pack wagon has moved up and took a shot at the Sherman, but it was hard cover and missed. So moving into turn 6, it's pretty close. It's 2 dice to the Germans and 1 dice to the Americans, but it's getting very dodgy in this turn 6. So we'll see what happens as we go. Into turn 6, it might go into turn 7, but let's just have a quick recap of what we got here. The Marines have taken out the infantry unit, and the half-track came up to finish them off. The sniper team took 1 pin, and they took a leadership test and foobarred, which was handy because that saved the bazooka team who were there. The pack failed to hit the half-track, which was a lucky one. Sadly, I probably moved out the infantry unit too soon, and they got wiped out by the officers and the German unit moving up to the fence. The other German unit has come up and tried to take out the Marines unit. They're badly mauled. They're down to 3 men out of 8, and then the officers went down just to make it hard to kill them from the 222. So that's the end of... oh yeah, what we got, the heavy mortar took a shot. It was ranged in on the Sherman and got a hit and penetrated it and destroyed it. So at the moment it's 4 dice to the Germans, 2 to the Americans. I'm not sure, even moving into turn 7, that we will actually be able to get those 4 dice back. But you can never say never. So we'll give a roll and see if it's going to go into turn 7. 4, 5 or 6 it does. And it moves into turn 7. So, end of turn 7, and on this side, the 222 went to attack the command, and I put them down, so they survived. The German unit came around and wiped out the Marine unit, even though that went down. Just too many shots there, too hard, too heavy. In the centre, the German unit has moved across to claim the objective. American-wise, very interesting, the squad here came across, took a shot at the officers, killed 1, leadership test failed on double 6s. Over this side, the American Marines went through the woods and shot the last man on the heavy mortar and got the dice there. The bazooka team moved up, took a shot at the pack and missed.
No, hit.
Oh, it did hit and stunned it. So close, but as we said, no cigar for our American friends. So yeah, survived. The pack did take out the half track before that though. Sniper team who foobarred last time and ran away took a leadership test and failed and went down. However, so dice wise, with a bit of to and froing in that last turn, in turn 7, it was quite tense. But 6 dice to the Germans, 4 to the Americans, and the secondary objective to the Germans. So, well done, Spike. A win to yourself there. So, a good one there.
Good game.
So, a really, really good game. I thought it was going to be a bit tighter than it was at the end. Going into turn 6, I was down a few dice there. Thought I had a chance to get it in, but I did make a mistake by bringing out the infantry in the house too soon and putting them onto the objective, which allowed Andy just to shoot them to bits. Yep, silly mistake. Should have tried to use the last dice, but I said, however, I probably only did have 2 dice left with the number that I'd lost from the starting 10. But yeah, good game. Did my plan work with the outflank with the troops? To a degree, it nearly did. If I could have taken out the heavy mortar team, and if I could take out the sniper team. It was very close, nearly got them. Got rid of the German squad on that side, and got that fortunate kill on the officer. What really did for me, I think, was the first turn and that Nebelwerfer. I should have spread the troops out more. Should have spread them out more. I didn't, and that was silly, because it just needs a 6 to come in and then cause grief, and it did, because it first turn smack on the Sherman, immobilised it, turret jam in such a ridiculous position, negated that tank, and that flank went so easily, and that really did cause problems, and I couldn't really get back from that, I don't think. But overall, yeah, good game, fun game. The Americans worked quite well. So thanks for watching. I'm not sure when the next one will be, but I might be able to do a bit of a video on the tournament that we're running, November Pain, on Saturday. We'll see if we can put something up on that. So until then, take care. Thanks very much for watching. Please like if you did, subscribe if you haven't, leave a comment, it's always good, and share with your friends. Thanks very much.